Hello everyone and welcome back to Even More Crazy Things, my Promised World series in Kerbal Space Program 1.12, where we're trying to get to another star system, but we have to unlock the science in order to do that. And it seems like Matt Lone has noticed Promised Worlds the mod, because he tweeted about it recently, showing off the Deb system briefly. And so I better get on with it because I'm going to have some competition otherwise. To that end, we're going to scoop up some serious science and thereby unlock the technology that we need to go over there. This is a science ship, broadly speaking, though it's meant to look awesome anyway. I'll get more awesome things, don't worry. It'll get more awesome. Somebody asked me to add restock in. It is my intention to do so eventually, but I want to decommission these science ships first. So this will be the last of the more stockish science ships. And we do have ion engines on here that yields us a whopping, well, okay, not that whopping, 8,274. I think it'll be more whopping if I used up more of the fuel first before using the ion engines. We currently are carrying half a load of fuel. So, yep, lots of little ion engines, and they're modified by near future, I think. And then we have the wolfhounds on here. But what we don't have on here are scientists in the science lab. And we will need scientists in the science lab in order to do this. These two are just pilots. So I am going to go ahead and launch a quick mission to get the scientists up here, and then we'll proceed to get the science. And I'm really wanting to send this to Elu. Now it's got ion engines, so it's got to take some time to spiral around things. Right now is not the transfer window for Elu, but right now it's not the transfer window for anything. Maybe for Eve. So maybe we'll go to Eve first and see, and then try to get to Elu. I'm not sure, but that's a tentative plan. Okay, so let's get the scientists over here. So here's the cis-Kerbin transport that I previously used in the All the Crazy Things series. We have Anrim Kerman, Barpon Kerman, and Agaman Kerman. Anrim and Agaman are scientists, and Barpond is an engineer. We've got a control core up here, so it should be alright as far as control is concerned without a pilot. So, SAS on, throttle is up, and let's go. Well, the sunset is looking good. Okay, booster set. And they're disposed of. I should probably have gone more steeply. It doesn't have that great a thrust-weight ratio right now. We are past the speed of sound. Oh, it does do the crack of the Mach cone, if you will, the shock cone. So here we get more sound, here we get less sound, and then when we pass the shock cone, we hear that shock. That's the rocket sound enhancement, I think. Well, maybe a little bit too shallow here, given the heat effects. But we'll be alright, and there's plenty of Delta V to get to our ship. Okay, we're gonna dump this stage, so we're going to go a little bit early. Well, okay, we're not that early. Okay, that's gonna get disposed of. Oof. And go. Well, go. Oh, I should have gotten rid of the nose cap. Oh well. We'll find a different way of disposing of that. Okay, we have an encounter over there. After we do this burn. a bit of a shame, but I don't think we have a docking port on Spaceship 3 that can accommodate this. I left out the smaller docking ports. They'll have to EVA over. Okay, briefly I'm going to dump the nose cone by going retrograde here. Okay, so off goes the nose cone. And we restore our orbit and make the rendezvous. Okay. Alright, since we aren't docking, that's probably as close as I need to get that. Or want to get that. We're gonna have it backing away so it doesn't bump into anything. And let's just EVA over. It's nice EVAing the Kerbals anyway. I did decide to pack drills for everybody, not just the engineer. Or whatever, the electric screwdriver that KIS has. Well, this is not holding steady there. Let's do that. Okay, other scientists. And Barpond, the engineer. I don't really care about the system to transport spacecraft. We'll leave it in orbit just in case it can be used for a rescue or something. It's got plenty of Delta V. And of course it's got a control unit to comms and power, so... Oh, this is full, right. Of course it is. It's got both scientists. Alright, so now that the scientists are in, let's see if they can science things. I should probably action group all the science if it hasn't been action grouped. Let's do that. Oh, well, it has been action grouped. It's just on 2 instead of 1. 2. Okay, well, process in lab. Process that in lab. Everything can be processed in lab. How much does that give us? 225 data so far, but at least we've gotten started. Okay, so now on to Eve. Try and get some science out of Eve. Now there's gotta be an ion transfer. Favorite thing ever. Eve should be 54 degrees behind us, but it's much more than that right now. So right now we would be coming in behind it, but I think after we cycle out it's going to end up working for us. So let's see. We just want to cycle prograde, and I'm using Pekka's warp thrust mod to do this. And we don't need to change how we're controlling, I don't think. So, going prograde, starting those up, and time warp. It is working during time warp. Lifting our orbit up. So while we time warp, the terrain gets smudged, unfortunately. So the maneuvers won't actually be honest, but that's fine. We'll fix it later. It'll probably still cost more than 1,000. Maybe maybe we should just use the main fuel. On account of the fact that it's actually hurting our delta V, so I would like to save some delta V. Okay, now we've got an encounter. Let me redo... No, none of you. Let me redo this maneuver. And actually, MechJet might be able to tell me my honest burn time instead of this, which is not right. We have a total of 1 day and 19 hours here. Node burn time 5 hours 3 minutes. Well, that makes more sense. But that's with the Xenon engines, the ion engines. But we will use the Wolfhounds this time. Let's see. Seems to indicate that with the Wolfhounds we have 2,155. Or 1,918. Okay, fine. 1,918. Well, we'll use some of that. And now our burn time is just 6 minutes. Turning slowly, as a ship of this size should. Okay, and go. Can barely see the plumes against the planet, against Kerbin. Okay, well, that's right on the dot. Let's see. We've got mid-course correction. Well, we've got an encounter, but we should probably adjust that. Make it a little bit nicer here. And we'll definitely use the ion engines for that. Would like to be in line with Gilly, just in case we can get some there. No, that'll be close. Alright, so we're gonna get there in 46 days. Well, our node is in 21 days, but I should check on the science being accumulated at our Val ships, just in case those need to have some emptying. Otherwise, if they're full up, then we're not taking advantage of them. Okay, how's Spaceship 1 doing here? Well, it's got 300, well, as far as science goes, it's got a low amount, so we don't need to empty it. Okay, and this is still accumulating too. Magnetometer report could give us a lot of science in the lab, but I don't think we have enough space. Yeah. Yeah, all these sciences are more than we have space for. Maybe this one can fit, that one can fit. Okay, it says we're full now. Oh yeah, totally full. Alright. So that's going well, and it's 64 per day. And so in 7 days we'll have enough science to transmit back. So I'll just time warp here, I think. Or should we follow Spaceship 3 out? I mean, its node is in 21 days, so we're gonna have to hop back here 3 times if I follow that out. So I'll just follow this. Okay, let's transmit this stuff. That worked. Let's see about Spaceship 2. Well, look on the bright side. At least we're milking Joule science instead of Minmus science. It's a little bit more honorable. Okay. Science has been transmitted. We will wait another 7 days. Okay, I think I'll transmit it now. And Spaceship 1. So that will have been about 2,000 science right there. But the upper sciences do take a lot. Okay, we got that. Alright, now back to Spaceship 3 to do its maneuver. Can't do some science out here? Well, 150 is not nothing. Okay, here we go. Up the node. Okay, it's happening. Not as close as I would have liked. We'll fix it when we get into Eve SOI. Okay. Right. So when we get there, we'll go like this. Mainly because we want the lower science. And then we'll capture. Which won't take much. Should all be doable with the ions. Okay. Well, back to milking the science from the Val missions. But let's go to the tech tree and see what we've got so far and what we can unlock. Why is there nothing in enhanced survivability and simple command modules anyway? Seems wrong. So there should at least be stock parts in there. Who moved those? Crazy. Anyway, what we really want is powerful engines, right? Those are reactors, fuel systems, centrifuge and nuclear fuel storage and smelter. And then we were looking around here-ish. I didn't get a clear answer about whether I was allowed to move some of this stuff around. So I've left it so far. Well, we don't get anything from this one, but we better unlock it because, you know, things that gotta require it. We'll just move up to bigger and badder nuclear things. These are just reactors. I want propulsion, but then this also doesn't have anything. Here we get some more serious stuff. Nuclear pulse engine, I'm sure everybody wants to see that. And then even this one can just take high efficiency nuclear propulsion, and we got a magneto-inertial fusion engine. Still not enough to get to another star system, by the way. This one probably would be, which is why I wanted to move it higher up. That one in particular, because I can do thrust during time warp, otherwise it'd be too painful with 12 kilonewtons, but it's not. 12 kilonewtons is not a limiting factor when I can do thrust during time warp. So yeah, that's why I wanted to move it up a bit. I know they figured when they placed them that people would be too tortured by the amount of time it would take, but that's not a problem in my case. So anyway, but I'll unlock this first. And now we're at the threshold of getting these engines, and probably during the course of this video we're going to be able to, but maybe I'll delay that by unlocking this one. This improved nuclear power. I don't know what, there's definitely not enough stuff. I don't want to hide the tech nodes. I know about that mod. I want stuff. I want stuff to put in them. This one actually requires all, so it requires experimental rocketry as well. But I don't have enough right now for that anyway. This requires any, so we could just go this to that. We don't need this one. So I guess I should save up for experimental rocketry. Okay, continuing on. You know, this X-Science selected object thing would be a lot more helpful if it actually showed how much science the science lab had in it. Shows these other things that I don't really care about right now. All I want to know is how much science has accumulated, and I can jump to it at the right time. Okay, we've got another full batch of science here. Okay, and Spaceship 2 is also full up. How's the charge? That's fine. Alright, we are in Eve SOI with Spaceship 3. I did another transmission of science from the 2 around Joule, or around Val. And we are doing this correction to bring our orbit in a bit. And it says with the ion engines it'll take 12 minutes down there, so we will go with that. Still much shorter burn times than ion engines get with Realism Overhaul. And that is because they're still cheaty ion engines in stock. They're still overpowered. 1 kilonewton apiece. You could get 1 kilonewton apiece with realism overhaul, realistic ones, but they tend to be physically much larger, so it's tougher to cram them all on the back there. They're also a lot heavier. Well, there's Eve. If I accidentally say Venus at some point, forgive me. Okay, that's good. Shut down. And we should do some science here and get that into the lab. All of it into the lab. That one might be... We should transmit that first and then do that again. I'll transmit it. Apparently we haven't done anything here at Eve, so let me transmit some of the data. Send some to the lab. It looks like the reactor is holding up. Well, we're full up on science here, so let's transmit the science. Let's see if it can manage that. Yeah, okay, it's holding up, yeah. Okay. And we've got full data there, basically. So, alright. We'll get ready for low orbit science. We only need 200 to capture. Can't immediately go for Gilly on account... Well, we could transmit to Gilly science, but with the science lab full, we can't really take advantage of Gilly that well. Okay, well, it's actually 59 minutes, so I'm late. Okay, sort of a severe angle to do the capture, but that's what's necessary in order to keep our periapsis where it is. Okay, it's working. If necessary, we can bring the wolfhounds on again, but I don't think it will be, or maybe it will be. This might be taking too long. We are going up again. Yeah, I'll give the wolfhounds a try for the last bit here. $1,128. We can use a little bit more of it. Okay, that's good enough. We'll use the ions for the rest. But while we're here, let's do the science. I don't think we can shove any more into the lab. We'll transmit these first, and then we'll get them again. Oh, we're not connected right now? Okay, well then, let's just keep it all. Here we are. Okay, and then we'll come around to periapsis again. We've got comms now. Let's try and transmit that stuff. Okay, reset everything that can be reset. Still can't shove any more in here. Okay, now we'll go around and collect it all again so that we can eventually put it into the science lab. Maybe we'll be over a different biome for some of them. That's a heck of a color right there. Oh, yeah, the science lab's all full, so we'll just keep experiments until we can put them in. Okay, well, this is parked and it's already gathering science, but it'll take a while. I already transmitted some science, so let's take a look at the R&D building again and see what we can do. Alright, well, this one is mild. This one is where we've got an engine that could potentially get us to another star system. At least I'm saying that. I mean, yes, it doesn't have that much thrust, and maybe that hampers it more than I think it does. But 350,000 seconds of ISP is quite a lot. Quite a lot. Of course, there's this 520 up here. That's nice. And there's even, I think, more than that somewhere. Well, this has 2.5 million up here. But yeah, well, let's get the experimental rocketry. And I can unlock this. So if people are saying that I shouldn't move that. Well, we can start going to the other star system potentially. Maybe. We'll see. I'll try and build a thing to it. We've got 1,722. We can even get the magneto-inertial fusion engine as well with a fusion fuel tank. But maybe I should work on some of the lower level stuff to round things out before I get that. Got a lot of stuff hanging out. Is there anything around here that I need? Maybe more radiators. That's the one thing. Of course, we've got the engines and the fuel tanks up here, but ultimately those powerful engines are going to produce a lot of heat. So advanced heat management, maybe we should do some of that here. So heat management and advanced heat management I'll spend on. I'll keep the 1,000 for now. Okay, so that is the situation. That's the grand scheme of things right now. And we're plugging along. So, Spaceship 3, pretty successful. That's the easiest time I've had with ion engines in a long time. So, yeah, ion engines quite simple to work with as long as you've got nuclear reactors. I certainly don't want to deal with them with the solar panels because once you're on the nighttime side, they go out, and that's no good. Anyway, with that, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do press like. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.